DJ Thorough, the hustlers, home, nigga. And if y'all niggas hating, you know what? It is what it is.
Niggas need to get their mind right.
Hey, what's up, people? This is Trevin once again. This is my show. It is what it is. This is my 4th episode. This show is very serious, it's very important, and it's very informative. This show is about same-sex attraction. So obviously I'm going to be talking to Brendan here, who's a gay man who's coming out to tell you guys about his story. So we just going to hop right into it. Once again, it is what it is. The first question I have for you, Brendan, around what age you knew in your heart you were into other guys?
I want to say this was probably really early on, maybe elementary school. I just kind of noticed it was really just basically more into guys than it is into girls. Like, it really wasn't a thing where it's just like, I don't know, I was very confused about it until I probably got to maybe high school, and then it started being a little more clear to me what it was, and just kind of like, not accepting it, but just like, is this who I'm going to be all my life? And it's, so that's really, I want to say maybe a good solid number is probably maybe like 10 or 11. I realized, okay, I'm more into, I don't know why I'm attracted to guys before girls, and I know I'm supposed to be attracted to girls. So,
okay. Did you get a chance to talk to anyone about that? Being that young is kind of hard to do, but did you have like a close friend or maybe your mom you confided in?
Growing up, my family wasn't really accepting of my lifestyle necessarily. Like my mom and my sisters, they're very kind of, I'm not gonna say judgmental, but they are judgmental. It does get to a point where they do. I mean, it was very early on. It was just more so just a lot of, I don't want my kids to be like that. My mom would make comments like that. My sisters wouldn't agree with it, and it just was kind of like, from there, it was like, how do I come out to them? How do I tell them this is what's going on with me? They know, it's obvious. It was at that point, it was obvious. I was raised with girls, so, I wasn't the most masculine child, but I was forced to be kind of sort of who I am today. So therefore, as far as not so feminine, to a certain extent. But no, I didn't really have nobody to talk to about it. Friends or people who I thought were friends, and then that was it. No family, nobody close.
Do you think that if you didn't grow up around a lot of women, that you would be different today? Or you think that was just already in you? But having, I guess, a strong male figure around, you think that would help you out to not be,
absolutely. If I would have had, if my father was around, I was raised in a single parent home. My mom, she was a hairstylist all my life. She still is a hairstylist, 25 years strong. So she's always been the male figure in my life. I had uncles, I had male cousins, but they weren't consistent. My dad, I did live with him for a little while growing up, but I felt like he never really wanted to get to know me. I'm the oldest boy out of 5 boys. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 boys. I have 2 younger siblings and brothers that are under me from a different mother, but I guess he never really tried to understand me as his oldest son, as an individual. He never really did that. So I think had he would have been around then growing up, like I would have wanted him to be what I would, much rather him been, he wasn't. I think it would have been more of
a male figure around.
I would have had a little more guidance as far as, okay, well, this is what I'm feeling, but this is what is right. So, you know what I'm saying? If I would have had that male figure around just to kind of be there and really go into details with me as far as, this is what you do, this is how you do it, this is how a man's supposed to do, and then that would have been that. So,
any resentment towards him because of that? You feel like that, your life would be much different if you'd have had him in, so do you have any resentment towards him?
You know what, to be honest, yes, I do. Because it's just kind of like, why weren't you there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know my mom, she's a great person. I know sometimes she does have, like, really strong moments. I always tease her and tell her she's a Leo. And I always tell her, you really do fit the characteristics of a Leo. Like, you really do. Because she's moody, she's bossy, she wants to be in control of everything. But when she's up, she's up. When she's, you know what I'm saying? She's just down. But, I mean, any real man could have dealt with it. I just felt like he wasn't a real man. He didn't own up to his responsibilities. At that point, he only had 1 son and 2 daughters. So, the other kids didn't come until later on. My youngest sister is just right up under me at 22. So, yeah, it's resentment. It was a resentment there. Now I've learned to forgive him for that because it's just like I've honestly built such a close relationship with God, still building it. So it's just really kind of like, I can't hold that grudge against him. There's nothing that I can do. That's in the past, leave it there. I'm 25 now, so it's just kind of like.
Okay, so how's your relationship with him now? You say that you have forgiven him, so how's your relationship with him now?
The relationship with him now is actually a relationship to the point where we speak. If I'm in Austin, if I'm in my hometown, I see him and I'll speak to him. But if not, other than that, we have no contact. We don't mind. Yeah, my sisters, they deal with him on a consistent basis, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. Tell me this: how hard was it to tell your parents, and how accepting of it were they? That you mentioned that they will make different comments and different things like that. But once you finally just made it clear that you were into other guys, how did they take it?
My mom and my sisters are really kind of, as I got older, they really got a little more, I guess they got more used to me being who I was. I've always been kind of, not flamboyant if you know what I mean, wanting to be a girl, but I've always been more of a softer dude. I've always, like, people joke about it, and a lot of men joke about it as well, like, I'll go get a pedicure in a heartbeat. I'll go get a manicure in a heartbeat. That's me. That's what I like to do, because my mom was such an influential person in my life. Her and my sisters that was the things that they do. So I necessarily didn't have to answer the question, I didn't necessarily have to tell them this is what I am.
It's kind of obvious.
It was obvious to them. It's one of those things where we don't talk about, nobody in my family talks about. They know, but we don't talk about it. It's just nobody brings it up. So, is that your boyfriend? Type of thing. If I was to ever bring somebody home with them, they don't ask. It's just simply, we kind of know, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of different things out there is kind of taboo for other guys, straight men, and a lot of people want to know, what different types of gays are there?
There are multiple kind of gays. You're looking at gays who are in like extremely high places to the point where people honestly are bamboozled for years and years, and this gay male keeps up this lifestyle nobody knows. In other words, it's the extreme down low type of guy. It's the extreme really, really hardcore masculine. Yeah, I never really saw it. I kind of, some of the things he did kind of made me think about it. Then you have your really, really, really flamboyant guy, and then you have your just transsexuals and, girls and things like that. So it's multiple levels of gays. It's just.
I remember one time during our pre-interview, you had discussed with me that that you never had dreams of really being a woman. You said that you have a penis and you were happy with your penis.
Right.
Elaborate on that for us a little bit.
Elaborate to, well, it's just with me, it's just like through all of my upbringings, as far as my mom raising me and raised with my mom, my sisters, aunts, primarily being around females around, it really made me know a woman's body to the certain extent to say I'm very comfortable with what I have. I'm really glad I don't have to do a lot of the stuff that women have to do on a monthly basis, or just period. It's a lot of maintenance being a woman. It just made me, honestly, at a very early age, it really just made me say, look, I'm glad I have a penis. I'm glad I have an ass. I don't want to be bothered with none of that other stuff, because that's it for me. So
Too extra.
It's too much. It's too much. So.
All right. Do you feel like that you are discriminated against as being, a gay man? Do you feel that way, that you have been like looked over for jobs, or just been, teased, overlooked for any type of situation? How do you feel about that?
Growing up, very teased, very bullied. I want to say maybe until I got out of high school, I was still kind of bullied at the fact that was, I was a more softer dude. I would much rather wear my jeans on my waist instead of them, sagging down, that stuff like that. Of course I got teased for that. But as far as my adult life, do I feel discriminated against? Yeah, to a certain extent sometimes, because it does. You go for certain jobs, or if I honestly can say that. I take that back. I don't think I've ever felt discriminated leaving from a job. No, I don't. Not for, looking like I'm attracted to guys or gay, the label of that.
Right.
But I want to say I probably more so maybe a racial issue as far as black, white,
more
racial than it would be, sexuality wise. I don't think that was really, no.
All right. This is a personal question for me. Are you sexually attracted to women in any kind of way? I mean, if you see a fine woman, even though that you, are attracted to men, I'm pretty sure if you seen like a Neil Long or someone, would you want to just,
I think women are beautiful. I mean, I think everything about a woman is beautiful. Like, I don't trade nothing, you know. Am I, like, on a more sexual attraction to women? No. Honestly, the straight up answer to that would be no. I can't say that I am. If I was to lay in a bed with a woman, it would be more in common than it would be sexually, if you know what I mean. So it's not, for me, it wouldn't be a personal thing. But like I said, I think women are gorgeous. Like, I love to see women, especially who keep themselves up. They love to keep them, you know, their nails done, their hair done, smell good, teeth are pretty. You know, they just the right woman. I love to see women.
So you're in bed with a woman, not even a wiggle down there, nothing.
Honestly, I'm gonna say I don't know. I haven't been down that road in years. I'd much rather not. But from the last time that a situation like that did happen, no, it didn't.
Okay.
Nothing was to pop off. So.
Okay. Hey, we'll be back with more. It is what it is with Brendan. Part 2 coming up next.